turning your attention to the State's Exhibit 316, which is Ms. Cooper's old V551 phone, is
Yes,
that correct? You have some training in working with cellular phones.
No.
No expert training at all in how to do forensic exams on phones?
No.
Do you have computer forensics
Yes.
experience? Okay. And at that time, you used what was called a data pilot,
Yes, sir.
and you turned on you used the data pilot to access the phone.
Yes, sir.
Was the phone actually turned on at that time?
It has to be turned on.
And the information that you received from the data pilot was stated in initially 250 contacts.
I don't recall on the data pilot. It reported different than the Celebrate.
Did you take notes about your examination?
I just noted that no data was found.
And you're unaware as to whether or not it stated anything about contacts being on the phone?
That's correct.
You spoke a little bit about how it is your understanding that the data pilot machine works, did you not?
Yes, it's a very simple process.
And you explained that the data pilot will simply reveal how many slots exist on the phone.
No,
Okay, could you clarify?
the Celebrate does.
The Cellbrite does. Did you test the V551 with the Cellbrite?
Yes.
When was that?
I don't recall the date that I did that.
You have your notes with you?
I do. I don't have any notes on that. Best I recall.
Detective, you did a forensic examination of the phone and you did not take any notes?
That's correct. I took notes on the initial exam.
Are you aware of Cary Police having protocols requiring documentation of testing?
Specific protocols? No.
Do you believe that that is an appropriate forensic technique to employ without documenting your actions?
Depends on the situation.
Did something come up? Did an emergency come up that prevented you from being able to document what it was you had done in your examination?
Not that I'm aware of.
Did you take photographs of the device as you were performing the examination?
Not that I recall.
Did you have witnesses with you who were documenting the examination?
No, sir. Not that I recall.
Did you simply turn the phone on and flip through it?
Not that I recall, no.
But you said that the phone was on when you actually used the data pilot with it, correct?
You have to turn it on.
And once you've got a telephone that's running, you can navigate through menus, can't you?
Yes.
There's nothing that would prevent that.
Not that I'm aware of.
Did you check how many contacts were on the phone by just looking on the phone?
No, sir.
Did you look to see if there were any photographs on the phone?
No, sir.
Did you look to see if there were any voice messages on the phone?
No, sir.
Text messages?
No, sir.
Emails?
No, sir.
Is there a reason why you didn't?
Yes, if I can't retrieve data with my tools, it's up to the investigating officer to look through the phone.
But you did a second exam on the phone at some later time
With new equipment.
with new equipment, and you still were unable to find information on the phone.
Exactly.
And to the best of your knowledge, it violates no protocol for you to navigate the phone, does it?
As far as I'm aware now.
And you simply didn't.
I had no reason to.
Given the Blackberry cell phone Did you have any indication as to what condition to expect it to be in at that point?
I don't understand your question.
Were you aware of a previous examination of the phone?
No.
And how did you perform that examination?
Using the Data Pilot cell phone kit.
And you did turn that phone on.
Yes.
You noted that it was locked. Is that correct?
I don't recall if it was locked at that time.
How many different times have you evaluated the Blackberry cell phone?
Only one, as far as I recall.
But you don't recall if it was locked at that point?
I do not think it was.
Okay. When you hooked the Blackberry up to the Data Pilot, what you found was there was no information in the phone, correct?
Correct.
What kind of, could you tell me, Detective, what is your understanding of what a SIM card is?
My understanding of the SIM card is a SIM card is your account, and it may store contacts, it may store text messages, and some contacts, text messages, and that's about all I know.
Okay. Are you aware that you can check the data on a SIM card separately from the telephone itself?
Yes.
Did you do that with the Blackberry States 34?
No, not that I recall.
Now, did Detective Young describe in the letter exactly what steps he went through causing the phone to erase?
Yes. Okay. The he said that the phone was locked, and he attempted to get a puck code, P-U-C-K, from AT&T. Actually, what he meant was a PIN unlock code, P-U-C, and you just go to the website to get that. But apparently he got it by court order from AT&T.
Okay.
And then he tried to go through the process to unlock this phone.
Now, is that what you, in fact, do at this point? Do you go through the process of putting in invalid passwords?
Yes, he had given me the PUC code, the PIN unlock code. And so I see that the phone is locked. I know that I'm going to unlock it. So I've scrolled up to the unlock button, and I'm going to click that.
And if we could zoom in on that.
Okay.
Now, after you had gotten the password wrong 9 times,
Yep.
is this what you saw displayed on the screen?
Yeah, this is me, and it says, this is your last attempt. Information will be erased on failure.
And after that, did it give you one last attempt?
Yes, the 10th attempt.
Defendant's 152.
But before it gives me that 10th attempt, again, it says type in the word Blackberry. So texting, I type in the word Blackberry.
And when it says final attempt, what does it mean by that?
Well, it said that all data will be erased. If you get this wrong the 10th time, all the data is going to get erased.
In any of this process, did you see any screens indicating that there might be a chance to put in a separate code after you'd gotten it wrong 10 times?
No, absolutely not. The PUC code is the second code.
And finally, I show you defendant's 153.
All right, got it wrong the 10th time. It says all data will be erased. And then you start getting that bar. It's starting to wipe out. I mean, at this point, I could have hit escape or off or something and maybe saved it. This took a while to do. This is erasing the phone. It took, I would say, a minute at least before the bar went all the way across.
And is that what Detective Young describes doing in his letter?
He said in his letter, he said, I continued to unsuccessfully unlock the cellular telephone. These steps failed to successfully unlock the phone and in fact wiped out any and all information contained on the cellular telephone.
Now, if you had a Blackberry with a valid SIM card,
Yes.
what would the full process be to erase both the handset and the SIM card? Do you have to do one? I mean, before you answer, let me ask, is there an order that it has to be done in? Is there anything special about how you navigate? Step by step, what do you do?
The steps are pretty long, but first you would have to do the SIM card because you will have the menu options. You can lock your cell phone and you can lock your SIM. And when the phone's up and running, you can go in through the menu options and say, lock my SIM. And there's a default password, 1111, so that's the first thing I tried. That didn't work. And after that, you would have to navigate to, say, put in your password for your PIN for your SIM wrong and lock it, which could be a number of times. Usually 3 times you lock it. Then you have to get the puck code, and then you have to go through that process doing 10 mistakes. Then it erases the SIM, and then you have to repeat that process to erase the phone itself. Okay, so you got to do this process twice.
And in Detective Young's explanation, he talks about putting in a password wrong 10 times.
Right.
Is there any way that that process could erase both the SIM card and the terminal all at once?
Well, no. I mean, it's not designed that way. It's designed, I mean, say you want to say you get a new phone and you want to move your SIM to another GSM phone. Say you get an iPhone and, okay, I'm going to take it out of this Blackberry and put it into my new Blackberry, and I want to give this phone away. I want to erase this so none of my personal information's on it. So that's one process. And the other process is basically I want to wipe out the SIM card. Then I got to do a process. These are 2 separate pieces. Like I said, you can take the SIM card and put it in any phone, so you got to erase that separately.
So, in reading Detective Young's explanation, were you able to form an opinion as to whether or not it was an accurate description of what had happened to that phone?
No, this is not an accurate description.
And were you able to form an opinion as to whether or not the phone was intentionally deleted?
Objection, Your Honor. It's an expert in cell phones, let's just say.
Can I answer?
Sure.
No, okay.
Your Honor. Is this where Detective Young explains what happened to the phone?
Yes, it is.
And could you read his description?
Yeah, he says, I attempted to access the cellular telephone by obtaining a puck code from AT&T, which is the service provider for the cellular telephone number assigned to Nancy Cooper, to complete a forensic preview. Okay. In an attempt to execute the puck code, which was obtained via court order from AT&T, which is attached to this document, I completed steps to successfully unlock the cellular telephone, which were provided to me via telephone by AT&T representative. These steps failed to successfully unlock the cellular telephone and in fact wiped out any and all information contained in the cellular telephone.
Now, based on that explanation, is there any way possible that that would have resulted in both the destruction of the phone and the destruction of the SIM card?
No, sir.